no voicemail.
Well, you know what? I'm going to make you guys listen to silence for 30 seconds.
I don't even want to do that.
You're gonna get through the, you also, this is included in the time, so I guess you hear us say this stuff too. But the rest of it, silence.
30-second silent timer starting now. 1, 2.
It's like our therapy pod. Tick, tick,
4,
tick, tick,
5,
tick,
6,
tick.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, he's going for it.
13.
It's like, cue intro. Cue
15,
intro.
Cue intro. Cue intro!
18, 19,
Dang, it's still going.
20,
We're just going to fade him out.
23, 24, 25, 26.
I also love
27,
how our
28,
laugh was just in sync
29,
on my side.
30.
We both were like,
30-second silent timer over.
goodbye.
You'll be sorry, you fools! You idiots!
Ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I don't know about you, Miss Kitty, but I feel so much yummier.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
And welcome back. Fun stinky dinky.
It is time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries, the shop where 3 gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry in each episode.
My name is Jay, and I miss when trends that someone died attempting seemed like news. That was,
He was
a big
planking.
news story.
I was
He
like,
planked and got hit by a train.
He died planking. And they're like, well, where was he planking? On the train tracks.
Kids are crazy these days. Society.
I can't believe it. Well, planking's going to kill us all. And meanwhile, like, billionaires are happening.
They're happening all right.
I'm Anthony, and my mood ring just turned brown, so if you'll excuse me, I need to go do a number 2.
Where's our recorders?
The brown noise.
Mine lives somewhere like close to my desk. Just where is it?
I know where it is, and I'm not telling you. And I'm Joe, and the mere thought of the cinnamon challenge has my throat tightening up.
Oh my God, Glozell.
I'm glad we're not doing that on the podcast.
I'm
Never
channeling
mind.
her today with my green.
Go get your cinnamon. Let's do that one instead.
No.
And that means that today's sundry item is trends. Beardos, the 3 of us all had a third parent raising us in our secondary school years, the internet. We saw all kinds of things come and go throughout those weird years, and today we're going to chat about them among various trends that I'm sure that we will go on various tangents about. After the break, we are going to try and become viral ourselves, and then I'm joining in on Beardo Submitted Sundries this week. Anthony has stuck another yummy game into the crock pot in the break room, and it should be ready here in about some minutes, give or take a tangent or two.
Alexa, stop.
It'll be ready when that storm finally passes over.
Alexa, stiff peaks.
Speaking of, according to my post today, I did not burn my casserole last week, so just that update you needed.
Oh, thanks, Jay.
Good to know. Fantastic. Glad we knew about that.
But before we ask Mom for money for the mall, how about this week's lack of a voicemail?
You guys are getting punished during that time from now
You
on.
have to listen to our conversation about the Oscars for that.
This will serve 2 purposes. We will get to use Aaron's voicemail picture that he drew us, which I really love. And also, we're going to guilt trip you. We're like parents. We're like boomer parents. We're going to guilt trip you.
Oh no, we're turning into that gay podcast where we're going to make people listen to our opinions about the Oscars.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's right, bitches.
We're also going to do what Anthony and I actually talked about on our therapy show, and we're like, this is probably going to upset you, but everyone's really bothered that nobody called and left a voicemail.
That was exactly what my mom said to me. She was like, this is probably going to make you sad, but everyone was asking where you were on your dad's retirement party that my dad told me that I shouldn't come to, and that I had like a work emergency pop up around that I couldn't make it. And it was just like this weird guilt trippy thing. I was like, you didn't have to say it at all. There was nothing forcing you to say it. There was no point to it other than to make me feel bad. Anyways, speaking of feeling bad, let's talk about the Oscars real quick since we don't have a voicemail.
Let's do. So, we originally weren't going to watch it because we usually don't really care that much. But we had a friend over who wanted to watch it, and it turned out you could just watch it on Hulu if you had Hulu, which we have through T-Mobile. And so, Jay probably knows where we're going with this. We had a fun time watching the entire show. It was kind of fun. It was fabulous. It was great to see everyone doing their speeches. Zoe Saldana, her speech was amazing. It got to Best Actress, the most important award. Everyone was looking forward to it. They go to start doing all the riffraff about it, and then, thank you for watching.
This event has ended, and I was
this
like...
This event has ended.
According to them not declaring a winner, I would assume it's not ended. I feel like there's maybe a little more that you have.
I know that they have time limits for TV and for licensing and all that hubbub, all that stupid bullshit. I don't care. I know they have time limits. They know people are going to go over the speeches. It's a known thing. Let them talk. But put buffers in for that. That is a big fuck up. I don't care what you say about it.
How could you not build in a buffer?
Right.
You don't build a buffer, dumbass.
You don't build a buffer, dumbass.
It's 2025.
It was so funny because I was like, Hulu, you're a streaming service. All you had to do was keep streaming.
Keep streaming.
Literally, the only thing you had to do was keep it going.
What are you interrupting?
You could have put a manual off switch for this and been like, okay, it's over now. Now one person needs to hit a button that says that we stop streaming this. Instead, you did some sort of automated bullshit so you didn't have to pay somebody, and that's what you got. You lost the Oscars next year because you didn't want to pay a person to do this.
And I'm pretty sure they just upped their rates too, so...
They did, too. It's ridiculous.
So now I'm just imagining that it was Oscars night, and there was some guy that was working at the Hulu place, whatever, you know what I mean. And he was in charge of keeping the whole thing going. He drew the short
He's just like
stick,
also
and
the janitor.
He was just in charge, yeah, and he's like very Homer Simpson-esque. So you know where this is going. And he decided to go to the bathroom right then, real quick. It was okay. Everything was going great. It's going to be great. He's going to be right back. He gets up, goes to the bathroom. Boom. Whole thing goes out. And it's like this zany kind of like 90s movie, like night-long, stupid backstory where it's like all these zany characters and mix-ups and stuff.
If this were an aughts movie, he would have had Taco Bell, like way too much Taco Bell for like lunch or something and for dinner before he had this overnight shift that he was doing. And he'd be like sitting there and the time would be coming up, and then all of a sudden you'd hear a grumbling noise and it'd be his stomach, and then he'd be like
getting a little bit sweaty.
I can't wait. Yeah. Oh God, I gotta do my job.
He looks down at the screen to see what time frame it's at.
Yep, and then he keeps looking at like the hallway to see if there's anybody else there, and the hallway keeps getting longer every time he looks back at it, and then like,
and then the camera moves down right to his stomach that keeps gurgling, and then who's the voiceover? Whose voice is it for the Oz movie?
Well, I was going to say Chris
who's
Farley,
the stomach?
Dame Maggie Smith.
No, this is the aughts. We still hadn't figured out that smart people put in ridiculous situations are funnier than stupid people put in ridiculous situations.
I was thinking like Rob Schneider or something.
Rob Schneider.
Norm Macdonald.
Yes. Oh my God.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, it would have been Gilbert Gottfried.
Hey, Taco
Bell! Hey! You son of a bitch! We gotta go now!
I'm your stomach, bitch!
You You shouldn't have eaten 7 chalupas.
Jay, for my birthday, I want you to act like Gilbert Gottfried the entire time we're at Cafe Cacao.
I hear it's one of the #1 rated restaurants in the nation.
I'll take the mimosa.
That will make me live for 100 more years.
Is this French toast really crunchy? Oh man!
But then after Gilbert has his moment,
getting
like this
his
guy
sentence out is
decides he like
hard.
runs to the bathroom and he's like, I'm gonna do this real fast. I'm gonna do this real fast. And then like every time he thinks he's done pooping, he starts to stand up, and then it happens more, and then it's just like it's just getting everywhere, and he's just trying to like contain the moment, and he can't make it back to the button fast enough to keep the thing going manually.
And the
Yeah.
music is the
No. This is the aughts, so we're gonna bring back a little bit of like it'll be a bit of a throwback, but we're gonna bring up "Spice Up Your Life." People of the world,
shimmy to the left, and he slams into the stall door.
take it to the right.
See, yeah, hold tight, and he's like
We
holding on.
we missed a real opportunity by not being older in the aughts when we could have done things like Broken Lizard did, like Super Troopers and Club Dread.
Yes, I'm aware.
I really miss not being older during that era. I could have experienced life happy as an adult.
Shit, I didn't even think about that. Oh, what would it have been like to have been a working adult in the 90s, pre-Patriot Act, when you get mad and want to impeach some guy for getting his dick sucked?
Jesus, Jay, on my own birthday, shot dead in my own chair.
Oh yeah, as of the day this comes out, it will be Joe's birthday. So happy birthday in the future.
Yeah. I'm standing at the edge of the cliff where I'm about to jump off.
I'm looking down at this rock that I'm about to land feet first.
Jesus.
Before we steer off of the Oscars, like, I don't have much to say about it. I was pretty much bored through the whole thing, except
That's why I don't ever watch it.
so I usually watch it to be like, are there any good movies that I've missed that I kind of want to see? And everything looked kind of terrible, except, honestly, the opening music that they did with Ariana Grande and all for Wicked, fucking fantastic.
Oh,
It's great.
I missed that.
Yep, it was the opening music, and they did Over the Rainbow Home and Defying Gravity from Wicked. Awesome.
We
Gave me chills.
Yeah, we missed that because we went to go get barbecue.
Well, that's gay.
We also missed it because we were trying to get Hulu to start the stream because, shockingly, there were problems with the stream getting started. It should have been a bad omen to things to come.
Yeah. If you get the opportunity, go find it. It was really good.
But maybe, I don't know. I probably won't.
My one hot take about the Oscars is that I wanted Demi Moore to win for The Substance.
So did I.
Yes,
And-
she should have too.
I did not watch the film that won for Best Actress, but
Was it
it was
Anora
also
is what it's called?
Yeah.
correct. And
Yeah.
the actress who won, she was in Scream as the other killer opposite Jack Quaid. Her name was Amber
Scream
Scream.
6, right? Or was
Scream
it 5 or
5.
6?
Yep, 5.
Is 6 out? Or is...
6 is out, yeah.
Okay,
It's the
yeah.
newest one. Yeah.
So that was wild for me to try to wrap my head
keep track.
around. You know.
I really was like, I don't know. I'm never into the Oscars because I think movies get made for the purpose of being Oscar bait, and I hate that. It was
And I
like,
only care about masturbate.
Right, exactly. It was Oppenheimer was one of those films I was like, we're making this to be Oscar bait. Like, and the only redeeming quality of Oppenheimer is that it gave us Barbenheimer.
I knew that was coming.
Exactly.
But getting away from the Oscars and getting to the episode topic, Joe, do you think I can find those Chinese finger traps in the sundries aisle?
Oh, you can, and the only way to get out is to come closer together.
Touch tips, touch tips.
But if you guys are new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an Old English word meaning odds and ends. Now today it's used mainly in retail as a way to group together items that don't typically have a group of their own. So, as three trendy and trending gay men with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
Wow. Absolutely incredible.
Wowzers!
That should be a trend. That should be a fad. My mood ring just turned bright white. So good.
What does bright white mean on the mood ring chart?
I don't know.
Oh, so
Should I
you just talk. That's what you do. You
I
just say
lie.
something.
That's what, half of what I do all the time is lie. What do you think? I'm so good at it.
Jay's like, hey, stop stealing my style.
That's my job.
We got to like talking about that the other day, my coworker and I, about people who are really bad at lying and make up like stupid excuses to call into work. And I'm like, just say you're sick.
Just listen to last week's episode. Come on, Jay.
Oh God. But anyways, did you guys ever have a mood ring though? Like, surely you did.
I think maybe like one or two toy ones, but I always remembered the sales display because it always had like the big chart of everything and what it meant, and it had like the different ones. There was always, in the whole display, there was always one that was peace sign shaped, and there was always one that was alien head shaped every time. And the way Jay is reacting, I'm imagining that he had one of those two shapes on his mood ring.
I did not.
Oh.
I'm reacting this way because mine makes no sense with who I am. And it was not a ring. I had
necklace?
a mood necklace.
Yes.
And I'm pretty positive I got it on my school trip to Florida or something. Or somewhere.
That sounds
Was it
correct.
badge shaped?
It was a surfboard. And it gets worse. So I'm wearing this surfboard necklace, and me being this super needy, hopeless romantic would look down on it to see what color it would turn when I would meet a cute guy, because I was like, I swear it's going to tell me I'm in love.
This is a Disney Channel original movie.
Yes, my brain lived in Disney Channel, like reality, or not reality, but like thinking
From the tip of your frosted tips all the way down to the bottom of your damn Old Navy flip-flops. All the way down.
Oh my God, yes! I had the frosted tips and the white Old Navy flip-flops.
And you had cargo shorts, and you
What's the
had
meet cute
polos
for
with
this,
the collar
fellas?
flipped up, and you had a puka shell necklace.
I had the puka shell necklace at one point, but I never really did the popped collar situation.
I layered polos, but I never popped the collars. That was right. I was coming up right after that was going away, before we started doing
But
that.
the flip flops and jeans, I started that one year at the end of my like junior year of high school, and I got made fun of how gay it was. Whoa! Walk in my first day of senior year, and all the guys are wearing flip flops and jeans.
The funny part is, I'll make fun of you right now for it.
Oh, I'll
how
make fun
gay
of myself.
that
It was really gay. But it was when I was finally expressing myself more as gay and not being so concerned. And
I'm just imagining Jay walking into class the first day, and you look down, and he's got one of those, he's got one of those things you get from the vending machines, the 25-cent ones, and it's a mood ring for your toe, and it's like sunflower shaped and the little stones in the middle, and it's like on his toe, and he sits down and crosses his legs in front of everyone so they can see it.
I don't think I reached that level nowadays. I would fucking do that if I could go to work like that. I would 100% make everyone in the office uncomfortable if I could come in with a mood flower toe ring.
Don't make them uncomfortable already.
Well,
Jay,
more uncomfortable.
Jay, what would be your Laura Vanderbuben entrance line before you walk down the aisle?
Oh, what was her line again?
She said,
I'm Laura
Laura
Vanderbuben.
Vanderbuben's the name, and I just joined your workforce.
Oh man, what would it be?
Something about these little piggies stayed home, or I don't know. These little piggies wore a thong.
Just be like, you go in, you sit down, you say, Laura Vanderboob is the name, and these little piggies have a mood ring, and my little piggy has some ham.
Laura Vanderboobin's the name, and I've got just a little low-hanging fruit.
But don't look at my toes or my mood will get higher.
I'm just imagining the meet cute for this, though. Like, you're in this little head shop in Florida, or maybe it's a souvenir stand. I think that's probably the more likely situation,
I definitely don't remember, but you're right.
I think it was one of
Probably.
those, like, those souvenir stands. It's like a little stagecoach, and the side flips down, and there's, like, those
Yep.
names carved into grains of rice, and everyone's little surfboard with the name on it, and you can get your hair wrapped, and it was like one of those, I think.
And I'm imagining Jay puts his little necklace on that he just bought. It's got the surfboard on there, and he's just like looking at all the little color spectrums, and he's very excited. And then a hand comes up and starts looking at the mood rings and mood necklaces, and he turns and looks, and it's a handsome man, and like the wind is flowing through his hair, and like it's just like it's a moment, and Jay's so caught up in it that he doesn't hear what the guy's saying until all of a sudden we break back to audio, and it says here that red means that you're turned on, and he looks over at Jay, and it's just glowing red on his chest, and that's the meet cute.
And then he opens his mouth to say hello, and the voiceover is provided by Gilbert Gottfried the whole time.
Hello! It says here red means horny.
And Jay just, and like hearts just fly everywhere, and it's oh man,
That's anime.
How
That's not a
romantic.
meet cute. That is anime, 100%.
What a just like looking back, what a wild time for my dumb little gay self.
oh
I mean, we
yeah,
all went through it.
We all had those trips where it was like everyone had their little money and their little go to the little souvenir stand, get your stupid little trinkets and your stupid little souvenirs and bring them home. Oh yeah, hook, line, and sinker. That's tale as old as time though. That's like since what the 40s, before like travel in America became a thing. It's always been a trending thing to have little souvenir and tiny shops with little
Well, like
trinkets.
school trips weren't really a thing until what, probably the 60s, 70s?
Probably around I'd probably say around
Yeah.
the 60s, 70s, I think.
Yeah, and then they became more common. And then, like, we did FFA trips. So we went to Louisville for National Convention. And I remember we went to the Louisville Slugger Museum, which is where, of course, they make Louisville Sluggers. And you got the whole museum there. And I got myself a little blue Louisville Slugger bat with gold writing on it. Because I was like, I got to get something from here.
Everywhere you went, you had to get something.
That's
it
the
was
whole
like a
thing.
spell. It was like a spell, like a curse. It would just like fairy dust would twinkle on you. Like, oh, I'm at the gift shop of this place I was just at. Everyone has to know that I was there, so I better get something with the name on it.
If you didn't come back with, like, physical proof of it, would anyone believe you?
It didn't happen.
Carnegie Science Center. That was it for us. growing up.
Ripley's
That was
Believe It
the
or
closest
Not
thing
in
Pittsburgh.
Branson.
Carnegie Science Center? It's like an hour away.
When you took the science kids from Morgantown up to like Pittsburgh, because it was like Stillwater to Tulsa. It was like a big a trip to the city to go to like the big science museum. Ooh,
Yeah, but
big trip to Pittsburgh.
we've been to Carnegie Science Center as adults, and that was the big trip. I'm sorry.
Well, like the middle-
I grew up in like a small ass town, and we went to Churchill Downs at one point.
with how many kids?
Well, like a handful of us. It was only the FFA officers, so
Now that I think about that, I do remember in grade school once going to the Science Center in Wichita that was brand new. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but at one point the local NBC news station actually like did their weather out of there. And so it was kind of cool. We'd be in the Science Center, and then they had some bleachers, and so each show, like, schools would come in, and they'd be like, hey, we got this class in today, and you'd be like, ah, on camera.
if it's Wichita,
Like on
I'm
Nickelodeon.
willing to bet it's the Wichita Christian Science Museum.
And so they had a tornado, and it was God going, I did this.
No, it was Nancy Pelosi. I did this.
I'm a Democrat.
Standing here at the top of the tornado.
I like how that turned into Ann Coulter.
It was.
I'm standing here at the top.
It also
of the
reminded me
tornado.
of what was the oh my gosh, the field reporter on Family Guy. What was her name?
Trisha Takanawa?
Trisha Takanawa.
I'm standing here at the Four Seasons Hotel because they don't allow Asians inside.
Or it's Jodie Foster. I'm standing here at the top of the tornado. Sweeping up all these lamps that are silent down there.
Or it's Gilbert Gottfried. I'm standing here at the top of the tornado.
You know, speaking of wacky voices, remember when it started to become a trending thing on like YouTube with like bad lip reading and dubbing and things like
I did
that?
love me some bad lip reading at the beginning.
I really must.
You
have
mean
missed out
what do you
on
mean?
that.
Did Jay? You still love that shit?
I mean,
Like,
I
Jabidi
still
that
do.
humor
Hell
is just
yeah.
so dumb. Like when they're reading like the names off like
Oh, shit,
the
the
roll
cranberry
call
sauce!
in Congress and Senate or any kind of various like all the infomercials and all the news bloopers, all the Golden Girls dubs, like everything. Like that's just
That
that
was
is
humor.
raised
Still is.
everyone on this podcast.
I feel like in such a short amount of
On
time.
this podcast.
Podcast. I'm standing here at this podcast.
Because they don't allow voicemails inside.
Yeah, clearly not.
God, I didn't really. I do remember some of those trends, but I guess I never really got super into it because I've never been super into YouTube.
Just dawned on me. I went through the phase of that show Equals 3 that hosted by Ray William Johnson.
What? I don't know any of that.
Yeah,
all
it
of
was-
those things you said are mystery words.
It was a YouTube show that I loved, and he just
The
basically
era
reviewed.
of YouTube shows.
Yeah, he just basically reviewed popular YouTube videos of the week, and would talk about them. And his show was called Equals 3 because it looked like balls in a
The cat.
shaft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Allegedly straight.
But he was cute, so it was like interesting to watch him.
Oh, he was cute. He was my type. My little mood surfboard would turn pink or whatever love color that
Pink.
was.
Why pink?
I
Why
don't-
did you say pink right then?
Because
what
I-
made you think pink?
I
That penis is
swear,
pink.
I swear, I thought pink meant love, but I really don't remember. I just remember one time it was pink, and I was like, "What does this mean?"
I'm in love.
I've seen his inside. Oh,
It's all pink inside.
And brown.
Oh,
oh, it's a Dahmer mood ring. Ugh.
Oh God.
oh man, YouTube brought out a lot of fun trends though, because I know this is kind of what triggered it. Whenever I thought about this topic, because I happened to catch a Harlem Shake video. And I was like,
Oh my god.
I remember when Harlem Shake back in
forgot about the
what
Harlem
2010 or 11 or 12.
Flash mobs in general.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I remember when that shit was so popular, and I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. But I still kind of enjoyed watching them. And now, I just want to go back to that era when that was the thing that I thought was crazy in the world.
That you
It's-
know what? That's
yeah.
true. Because I used to think I was in danger of like encountering flash mobs just randomly.
Oh, that was a weird feature.
So fucking many of them, and they just everybody's doing a flash mob nowadays. And now I have to worry about active shooters, which
Being
is
lynched.
quite a bit worse than a flash mob. Oh, also being lynched, but. So please bring the flash mobs back and maybe give them guns.
Please, for the love of God, just do the Harlem Shake in front of me and make me confused.
And there's the end of show clip thing. Yay.
Confused and horny.
Why am I horny watching the Harlem Shake?
There's the end of show clip.
End of show clip number 2.
The show lasts 30 more minutes because I just say way stupid stuff constantly.
It's just horny. We just dub over you saying other things.
Perfect.
And then Jay, it's funny that you mentioned 2010 specifically because it made me think of how the aughts themselves were different from the 2010s, even though kind of in my brain and memories of that time and era and pop culture and growing up, I kind of looped them both together, I think, even though they are two separate decades. It was
Same.
just that was when I was kind of maybe I guess at my most formative. So that's kind of the stuff that I latched onto, and even though it was from way different various years, it all seems like the same time. And that's why it's so easy to latch on to this, that, and the other from all these different 20-year periods, because that's how our generation, that was the prime of our growing up time.
The aughts, American culture was still being driven by television. That's where we were getting our information. That's where we were getting our trends. That's where we were getting things from. And then once the internet became so prevalent in the 2010s, American culture shifted to internet as its source of cultural reference. And so there's this big difference, because you think in like the aughts, you have television stars, you have pop stars. They're the people who are setting the trends. They're the people who are deciding what is in vogue and what's not. And then starting in the 2010s, you get internet famous people who are
in the
doing those
aughts,
things.
we were following what Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie did, and
Well, you were. I wasn't.
I was still working on a farm, and I was like, I can't
emo
do this.
I was listening to Korn. Thank you.
And
Corno.
that's also an interesting point too, because then in the 2010s, when the internet became more prevalent with all of that, influence, we're getting all these opinions from not American media, because that wasn't the main primary source of how we got that information anymore. And that's how it all became that much more interesting and branching off, and different things became trends themselves. In the 2010s.
Phyllis, should we go back to dial-up? I think that's probably the solution to all these problems
If
right now.
actually, that's a good point. If we bottleneck everybody's ability to get information, we'll slow it back down to normal.
We'll just go back to the TV and be force-fed what they want us to know.
Speaking of trend, I'm thinking of a meme now with that, actually, where it's that meme where it's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man holding the subway train back, and he's like struggling to hold it back as he's like speeding forward, and the subway train is like everything all of the time, constantly through my phone, and then on the front of him it says 56K modem with dial-up.
I hate it because that meme is always, I always remember the one where it's like my massive shit, and then it's like him, my sphincter.
It's that, but the subway train is one slice of jalapeno.
Oh my god, yes. Jalapeno soup.
One sniff of a jalapeno candle at Yankee.
Oh my god.
So,
Yeah.
go
sorry,
ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
In high school, I know planking at one point was popular, but did you guys ever do statue?
Was that just where
I
you would
think
like freeze and
You would literally just freeze in place, like you'd be walking down the hallway and somebody'd go, statue, and then they'd be like...
I remember that trend. I never was part of it, though.
I never did it, but...
I'm a little too old for that one. That was just slightly after I was out of high school.
He's in the office, and he's like, I've got you!
There was one trend, sort of, where we would go to the mall. And this was like when we were starting to get cell phones that had the little shitty little cameras on them.
Oh,
so
yes.
Pictures with the little screens. And we would kind of do this thing where we would get in the display windows of the clothing stores, and then we would act like the mannequin.
Mannequin!
And we would do that. And then our friends would take a picture.
I
and
kind of
then
want
we
that
would
to come
see,
back,
like,
too.
sometimes the employees would like tell us to get out of the way, but usually they'd just be like, if we weren't hurting anything, they were just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking kids are stupid, but you know what? Just do it.
They told me I couldn't stand in the window of Saks Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, but that was also the era of the trends of the Abercrombies, the Hollisters, the American Eagle, and how big those were, and they were just...
And it turns out every person who owned any of those companies was just awful.
Was a pedophile.
Oh.
Yeah, it was all pedophiles.
We had
Everybody got shocked.
our mall opened a Hollister, and everyone was upset about it because it took out the giant arcade that used to be there. But then, you bet your ass, when school year rolled around, Everyone was wearing Hollister.
Which didn't make sense because you couldn't even see anything. The lights were so dim in Hollister.
Oh yeah, and they were like
And
spraying
you can't
cologne
smell anything because
constantly.
there's just like cologne coming out of the vents.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love that smell. That's the worst part. Is now I would be like, I hate this. But as a high schooler, I wanted that cologne
You were
so
like
bad.
floating to
Too
the
much.
counter, like like you were floating towards a pie on a windowsill.
It's like, except instead of like it wafting out of Hollister, it's just blasting out of there like a fart out of an asshole.
I also just
And it's doing a tug of war with Jay between between the Hollister and like an Auntie Anne's, and they're like yanking back and forth. And it's like a
can
like a
either get
Looney Tunes
70
commercial,
pretzels
and
or
they just
one
keep
pair of jeans.
stretching back and forth.
I remember wanting that cologne so bad, walking over to it once and being like, I'm gonna buy it. And then I saw the price tag of $40, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, what? Oh, who
Yeah.
would spend this much on cologne? And now I like look at my cologne collection, I'm like, yikes.
You better bet your ass. Middle school. That was when Axe body spray was introduced to the world.
Oh, I remember it and it made me sneeze, so I bought Curve.
Listen, that meme, that whole generation, that whole giant trend of Axe body spray being associated with middle schoolers and deodorant and just being clouds and wafting out of middle school gym rooms.
It was real.
I was born in it. I lived in it. That was me. Like, that literally, I lived, spawned that experience. Forged in the ore of the minds of that experience.
Joe came out of the womb and they sprayed him down with Axe body spray immediately.
Yep. And just, I rolled right out of that gym class bathroom changing stall and smelled like my Axe body spray cloud
remember
and thought,
the
this is
commercial?
great.
The commercial they did, the little like they were trying to like get their slogan to get like sort of picked up by people. That was double pits to chesty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
and you
my
did
god, they should give you the spray method.
all the way down like a
double
seatbelt.
pits to chesty. I was like, who is using this as deodorant? Because stop.
Everyone.
You can still smell your BO. This is not working.
Well, because we were in junior high, and I vividly remember being told in gym class once that we all had to shower because the teachers are bitching about how bad we smell. And I remember one time complaining. I was like, I don't smell like that. It's literally the locker room that smells bad, and it's making my clothing smell bad.
But what?
And
Now
I'm
I
going to
really don't
submit a
know, but
complaint
back
to the
then-
sharks under my bed about this.
I'm going to have the shark under my bed write you a letter. Don't you mean crocodile?
I'm
No,
going to contact
sharks!
the president of showers. Oh my god.
The Axe trend was terrible.
Do you
I
guys
still
remember
remember-
bod spray?
100%.
I do, but I never
Came in
used
like,
it.
it looked like a Windex bottle.
Yeah.
And I remember the ads because they played before movies of the time. And it was one of the commercials that would play before a movie at the movie theater. And it was like sexy body shots of like shirtless, I guess, teenagers at the time because
Ugh.
that's what they were marketing toward. And it was just people in the background. I want your bod.
That's okay. I was like,
that's
is that
it,
the
yes.
one? I want
Yeah.
your bod.
Did
Oh
I just
my
unlock
God.
a core memory for the both
Yeah,
of
I know.
you?
It, like literally a bunch of neurons just fired in my brain at the same time.
Because at that time, every commercial was a whisper sexy because that was also the same era as what
Like the
was,
fast graphic going across the screen with like the extreme lettering.
and what was that?
Diamonds should practically have to.
But there was also that I think Listerine breath strips at one point did that.
Oh yeah.
And then was it
Whatever happened to those?
it was a
you, like,
mint.
Take those like you're dropping acid. You,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I did it all the
They're
time.
really extreme.
And then fuck, I'm pretty sure it was a breath mint or something that you would put in and then like they would
Altoids?
burst.
Oh.
Like you would
I think that's just penises.
Is that what I was doing in high school? It's gone.
Sounds like it.
Icebreakers? Ice crystals?
It might have been icebreakers before like their gum got really popular.
Mentos icebreakers? And
I
they had
remember-
like
But
a
I just
beauty
remember
center
them
instead
being
of a
like
gum
little
center.
balls of mint and you would do that and then they'd finally like burst or something.
I'm thinking Zots, man. Zots.
I
Like
mean-
Zots.
Even at the time, Camel Crush.
We could do an entire deep dive miniseries on food of the 2000s and 2010s, but that's neither here nor
Don't
there.
get me started. Orbits.
Yep.
But do you guys think we should go to break and then come back and then go viral?
Viral.
Beardos, we want to hear about what trends you remember growing up or that you still think are funny or outrageous now. Go ahead and send us a voicemail if you feel like it, or an email, or something on our
a voice
Instagram,
memo.
or Threads,
No pressure.
or Blue Sky.
Just a little one.
Just somewhere,
Pressure.
please.
If you want some fun new clothing and want to support a small business, check out hunkytops.com, the queer, Latino-owned clothing site. Beards and Sundries will get you 10% off your first order with the code SUNDRIES at checkout. You can order above 3XL, you just need to hit the contact button and they'll work with you. Again, check out hunkytops.com. Explore their styles and wear your pride. Use Sundries at checkout for 10% off your first order.
You're listening to the Beards and Sundries podcast. The podcast rated 5 out of 6 balls.
So, boys,
Yeah,
do you remember the Sprite Challenge?
yeah.
I do, because you reminded me of it this week.
I remember that one specific video of the two girls in the car, and they're doing it.
I
and
remember that
they
one
go,
specific video
Yeah.
of those two girls in the cup.
Shut up!
Back to trends, everyone. Two girls in one cup.
And then it just shows the girls, and they're doing the challenge, and the one girl goes, and then she goes,
Which I'm
the
so
whole
glad.
entire
Like-
demon spawn from hell.
But your soul leaves her body and it looks like she
Yeah.
dies.
I'm so glad you said that because I decided that I would show you a video of the top 5.
My tummy hurt.
Oh my god. No.
Oh my gosh! What do I do?
What do I do? And he hits the garage. I love that last one when he hits the garage. And
Oh, that one
know.
and then the two
do
girls
I
in the
do?
car are my top favorite ones.
It's because you don't expect it to be the other girl, but it is.
Yeah.
It's the other girl.
She's this little dainty girl, and she's just like, and then it's like the cherry on top is the girl like spitting her Sprite out next to her.
Oh my god!
I expected like a hole to open in the roof above her in the car.
Well, and then I never saw the one until I found this video of the girl that's like laughing and burping. She's like,
I've never seen that one before either until now.
never saw it, loved it. But I thought we should just try the Sprite challenge.
You did. Good thing I came prepared with a Sprite Zero
God damn
sugar.
it. Mine was bigger.
Oh, you
They
got the
didn't-
big ass one?
They didn't have the normal
Why
size
do you hate
cans.
yourself, Jay?
I bought the 12-pack.
Because I know for the love of God I'm not going to finish this.
Oh my god. Well, now I feel bad because I've been bragging about how good I'm going to be at this.
I just can't wait for you to be like,
I probably will. Watch it be like I will come in from like a workout or something and I will slam a fizzy water, like just absolutely tank it like all in one go. I have to stop myself from drinking things sometimes, so I think I'm going to be good at this, but I don't know.
Well, and when we were talking about it, because you were asking if we could do a different soda, and I was like, I don't fucking know. So I had to look it up, and they're like, you can technically, but Sprite is so much higher in carbonation than most sodas that's why Sprite's the particular soda.
Someone green screen Joe now.
All right,
giant
I have
tits
mine
there.
ready. Hey, look, now I have 3 cans.
We put Gilbert Gottfried's face on there. I'm Gilbert Gottfried!
I'm Gilbert Godfrey. Okay, do we want to do this all at once, or are we doing this in like...
Oh, no, we have to do it all at once.
Okay. Well,
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
All at once,
Jody-
which is exactly
Jody,
what
you're
my
gonna-
sex life it was like.
Jody, you're going to hate this.
Jody, I'm gonna hate this.
I don't even want to do this, but I thought it'd be funny to watch us do this.
Why am I nervous about this?
Why am I nervous about this? Watch me have to go to the hospital because something went
I've done
weirdly
much
wrong.
stupider things. Oh, that would be really funny. Like you can't burp and it's stuck in there.
I have to
I
post
want
on
you-
the socials, and I'm like, Sprite challenge went bad.
I meant to text you earlier. I was looking to see if you could do this with Sprite Zero just to make sure it wasn't going to be any weird like advantage or disadvantage for doing it that way. And it took me immediately to Reddit, to the subreddit No Burp. And it's a whole subreddit dedicated to people who can't burp.
Oh, no.
And they're less like, so if we do this challenge, will it force us to burp? Or are we just going to be horribly uncomfortable? And everyone's like, I think it's just going to make us horribly uncomfortable. I was like... Curse! I could not go my life without burping. I burp so much.
I know. I was like, God, the belching I can do sometimes.
Hey Jay, you should do another post where it's a Photoshop and it's you pouring that tea kettle into that mug that says "fuck" that you made.
Yeah.
But it's you like in an ambulance instead, and it's like just did the Sprite challenge. Didn't go so well.
Anthony, we're gingers. I wonder if that'll give us an advantage like it does with our lidocaine and anesthesia.
What?
I had no idea that was a real thing until today. I didn't know that like it was a thing at all. And okay, we're gonna come back to this lidocaine and anesthesia when we come back from commercial because I do want to talk about that.
Perfect.
Because it is I can't believe I'm 40 years old and just heard about that today.
All right. Are you ready for this challenge?
No, let's
God
do it.
damn it. I'm okay, let's go.
All right.
Oh God, it stings so much. Ugh.
Damn it, Jay! Why did you say that?
Ugh. God.
Oh my God.
Why is my can so big? Oh God.
Mine are seeping out of me like little mouth farts. I did have to take one break before I finished the can. Joe's not done. How much have you even drank?
Jay, it's
half the
fucking
can.
me up, man. Jay said, "Oh, it stinks so bad," and that was like a one-hit KO, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Game over.
Oh God, I finished the can finally.
Yeah, I killed the can. I did have to take a break. One small break.
Oh, I had to. Like, I couldn't just do a full gulp.
I thought I was going to be able to, like, polish off the Oh, God.
Okay,
She's so
so that wasn't as bad as I anticipated, but there was definitely that, like...
I did. I felt like, I was like, oh, it's expanding.
Yeah, I was like... my esophagus was like, well, hello. I mean, I still kind of feel, like, bloated up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling... Actually, that's pretty good. I got some extra gas out.
I can't wait to look back on that video of just the...
Actually, I feel great.
I like how Joe's just.
He's taking a sweet ass time over here.
Stop vamping. I can't handle any more shtick. Do you like gladiator movies?
Joe, do you like to see grown men naked?
Yeah.
Good God. Joe.
Just gonna finish this up.
I can't wait until like 10 minutes from now we're just talking and one of us is just belches in the middle of conversation.
It's gonna be Joe. Joe's gonna have such a bad time tonight with this.
Oh, so we're famous now because we did a challenge.
We did a
The
challenge.
end of show clip is gonna be Jay talking, but just the voiceover is just my burp instead.
Just keeps cutting to Jay's face, but it's just burps.
Over his intro every time. My name is.
Oh, okay. So that was kind of fun.
That was fun. But do you think it's time for a commercial?
Yes.
And now, for a word from our sponsor, the Florida Meat Cute, only on the Long Time channel.
He'll find the key lime to your heart. Oh, perfect. And commercial break.
Oh my God.
Coming up at 10, shocking new details about a Florida man's attempt to domesticate an alligator, a family trapped inside a floating El Camino, and why your HOA president might secretly be running a cockfighting ring. But first, we go live to our field reporter, Skip Drizzle, who's currently inside the hurricane for reasons that remain unclear. Skip? That's right, Skip Drizzle out here in front of a Waffle House, which is still open during Hurricane Octopussy, which as of yesterday was ranked a Category 3. I do see a couple patrons trying to get into the Waffle House. Let me ask them how we're doing. Excuse me, sir, ma'am, do you two know each other?
No, I never met her in my entire life. I just been trying to get to the Waffle House to get some eggs for real cheap because my stove's floating down the street right now. And I don't know him either. Sure he's cute though.
What made you to brave this Category 3 storm to get to the Waffle House?
Yeah, I just got real tired of the kids because they can't go to school and they just really pissing me off. So I decided to just come to the Waffle House and get some dinner by myself, and I left them at home. Yeah, same here. I got real tired of my kids, and my wife, guys, she got swept away in the storm, so I guess I'm just here by myself now. Oh, I'm so sorry your wife was swept away. Sounds like you may need someone new to take care of those kids with you. Well, you sure are a pretty thing. I would love if you'd come help me.
I think we are watching a love story unfold in front of us right now. Stop recording. This is Messflix, and we have bought the rights to this meet cute right now, and you are no longer allowed to air this. All right, well, you heard that. We are no longer allowed to air this story because Messflix bought it. So, back to you in the studio. In other top-breaking news, my hemorrhoids are getting out of control. Don't forget to subscribe to the show so you get a notification every time we drop a new episode. Ugh. I'm not watching that show. It seems too gay.
You're
I don't know.
too gay.
Is it gayer than a mood ring surfboard necklace?
No, but normally we would vamp about the commercial right here, but I want to talk about this week instead. I want to talk about the ginger superpower that is metabolizing lidocaine.
Or any anesthetic, because anesthesia's the same way.
Really? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that either. Mm-hmm. So, Beardos, I went to the dentist today to get a temporary crown and do impressions for a permanent crown. And I normally, and I've always known that I need extra lidocaine. I always like warn my dentist usually, or I used to have the same dentist forever, so I just never had to say anything because he just knew. But I always have to like really be careful because I'll get the lidocaine shot and I will not be completely numb, and I'll be like unnumb really fast. And so I just was always like, okay, well, that's just a weird thing about me. I metabolize. You know,
I'm a fucking weirdo. Okay.
I just thought it was just me. I got done today with my procedure. I only required one shot, which was a big deal. Jesus Christ. The whole second half, the whole back end of this episode is going to be awful.
So are our back ends.
But I get done and I tell the dental assistant, I was like, oh man, normally I have to do 2 shots and I'm actually less numb than I thought I would be coming out of it. He's like, oh yeah, you don't know about the ginger thing, the rule with gingers? And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, no, gingers. I was like, excuse me? No, I must have looked like
I'm a what?
I'm a what? You're a ginger, Harry. I get my Hogwarts letter and I show up and it's just the rundown school. It's just where all they put the rejects. But anyways, yeah. So he told me that it's not a scientifically like accepted thing, but most doctors and dentists like know that you need to give gingers extra lidocaine because they metabolize it faster. To the point that I hadn't mentioned this to them today, and that I usually metabolize it faster, and they had prepped a second needle just in case. And
is it
I was
because
like,
is it because of like the melatonin imbalance or whatever it is with the pale skin?
It
what'd you just
is.
tell me?
Oh Lord, here we go.
If I recall right, I read that it's the like MC1R gene or something that makes our hair red. And it also is the same gene that impacts our pain sensitivity. And so we are allegedly more sensitive or something like that. Anyway, so they've discovered that.
I know that.
Shut up, Joe! But there's something about that gene that makes us need just a little bit more lidocaine, anesthesia, and things like that, which my dentist, I learned from that like 10 years ago too. So it was interesting.
I had no idea.
So.
I had to text Jay about it today because I was like, hey, do you need extra lidocaine? Do you metabolize it faster? And he knew immediately what I was talking about. I was just trying to like verify that I wasn't losing my shit.
I did have a dentist, though, that I swear she always overdid it because my face would be numb for like 6 hours after I leave. And I'd be like, all right, bitch, calm it down a little bit.
Yep.
And now for a word from our week's second sponsor, Lidocaine XL for ginger.
Insert commercial here.
So, boys,
yeah,
if you're trying to trap us, bring the whole bottle of chloroform from me and Anthony.
Sure,
our patented sleepy time formula.
You're gonna need that whole bottle of chloroform and a crane for me.
We're gonna make magic in this Golden Corral parking lot, baby.
I'm going to the mac and cheese bar and I'm not coming back till it's empty.
I'm making room for us to squeeze in. I'm making us a second chafing dish as we speak.
Jesus.
We're going to be so awful at the brunch table. Oh, God.
Well, Jay, do we have any Beardo submitted sundries this week?
We have very, very, very little.
Well, that's good because Joe's going to fill us out.
Ooh. All I got this week that I remember, if you sent me something and I forgot, please tell me. I got something from Jody again, and he made us more AI art.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, wonderful.
So Jody sent this lovely picture for us. It's customized art specifically for us. Okay. And he said, Jay is with his wine. Obviously. Anthony is what was supposed to be a glass of ice, but for some reason it turned into a roll.
Is that what that is? Oh, perfect. Okay.
And then Joe with his Costco
body of Christ, I guess.
I've got the blood of Christ, Anthony's got the body of Christ, and Joe has his Costco rotisserie chicken.
The turkey of Christ.
No, I don't. It's on the ground, Jody. I don't have it.
You're running up to it to go sledding with it, and also,
Also,
there's an eagle there.
I was like, what the
On
fuck
my
was your
birthday,
prompt?
Jody?
I'm trying to figure out his prompt because we are in snow gear and there's an eagle above us, and I mean it's basically a ice mountain behind us.
It's
That's
a dig
an
at
ice
us for using the ice
vagina.
cubes.
Is that
We
that
are
is?
running
That is-
out of the
that
ice
is a
womb.
whole- there are lips on that girl.
3 bearded guys running out of an ice cold vagina in America, and then our prompts with our food. Is
One
my
has
guess at
ice.
this Rorschach blot test.
So my ice is there in the bottom, and I thought that was. I guess I can't see it as well from here, but like I was hoping it was a cheeseburger because that would be right.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's a smash burger and it's just a little bun or a little burger in there.
Not like a roll guy, but I do love a burger.
I love bread, so I'd be happy running with a roll. But he did way better with me with wine, although I'm a white drinker, but I guess I'll suffice.
You're
I
a
run
white
with
drinker?
rolls even when I'm not carrying bread in my hands.
Why you gotta be white?
Because I like it chilled!
You can drink chilled red wine.
You can, technically, yes. It's just tacky.
Beardos, if you
can't
enjoy
wear
chilled
white
red
after Labor
wine,
Day.
stop, because Jay says it's tacky.
No, society says it's tacky.
Tacky, it's too tacky.
Although I do chill my reds because I just don't like room temperature.
It's very...
This is grape juice. Yum, 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 yum.
I'm going to drop a little ice cube in it because it accents the flavors.
Jesus Christ.
I open the red wine and I'm like, ugh. It's notes of dirt.
Or I like taste the red wine. I'm like, oh, I know what this is. This is the spit bucket wine.
And he looks down and it says Arbor Mist. And he's like, delicious.
Same difference. I love that episode of Bob's Burgers. It's just the wine from the spit bucket.
I know. I was like, one of my favorite episodes. Okay, and that's all I have. And I hear, Joe, you have more?
Well, thank you, Jody.
Yes, thank you, Jody. Yes, Jay, I have decided to bring out some show and tell this week.
Jesus Christ.
I have brought out my jewelry box for us to take a trip through. This is a jewelry box I have had since, I believe, middle school.
1974.
There's some stuff in here. I mean, like, there's recent stuff in here, but there's stuff like, oh my, oof. Did you hear that when I opened it? It went... But let's take a look. So, opening up. So, one of the more recent things in here, this is the post that we got when Anthony and I got our ears pierced for his birthday. So, that's in there, too, in case we need to reinsert them.
They're thicker than the new posts, and I had to use one the other day because I snagged my earring on my loofah when I was showering.
Ugh.
And pulled it all the way off, and I kept the front. Like the front, I was able to save. The back, I think it went down the drain.
And then here is a nice little necklace piece that I have that I got recently at an H&M. It's just a little black piece that I've been wearing a necklace pretty much since college, so I just like to find cheap, cute things like that I can add to my collection just whenever.
Joe, show us the puka shells.
All right, here they are. There's a puka shell.
Oh, God.
And
Those were
those
the
like,
ones that
that's-
used to, like, rip your hair neck, too.
Yep.
Neck
I was gonna
hair.
say that's
Neck
the
hair.
quintessential puka shell.
Ow, my hair neck.
I love my dyslexic brain.
Yep, that's them in all their glory from Aeropostale.
That's like a cat of nine tails right there.
Oh God! Look at this. This is
Oh,
remember when
look at this.
these were popular.
No,
I
What
do.
the fuck?
This was like you'd get them at like the mall or oh God, look at
It's
how
so
this is.
long.
Oh yeah.
Why is it so long?
Well, that's what I usually hear, but...
Sure.
And I'm pretty sure I got this at a booth at the Monongalia County Fair when I was in middle school. and I think I've had it ever since. She's a little weathered. She's a little worse for wear, but
While you guys were out buying accessories, I was out buying swords.
God.
And then the last one I wanted to
Get
bring
off
up
this
here.
show.
Here you go, Mom. Mom, look, it is my class ring that we got because that's what you did.
Class rings.
Let's see.
I hope people aren't doing that still.
Oh, there she is.
How much was it? Was it $300?
I want to say it started at like $165 for the one that I got.
Did you get it from Jostens?
I think it was.
You had
I actually
to.
have. This was from Balfour.
I only ever knew of Jostens. I thought Jostens was like it. They're like, we're the only people who sell to schools.
They were the people that came to our school with like a booth, and we had like order forms. So maybe this is like a whole racket, like the bottled water thing being different for regions.
We're the Southern Midwest.
Yeah,
Central
I was like,
America is a whole different place.
My bad. Jostens is our racket scheme here. Like every school uses Jostens.
I don't even know where my class ring is. What did you get on the sides?
Oh, I have absolutely no clue.
On the one side, it says my graduation year, which was 2006, and then it's got music stuff because I was in band. And then on the other side had my first and last name because it was the new thing you could do back then was getting your first and last name.
Oh, wow.
Color guard for flags. And then the school was on there. And then there's a little, I think it was aquamarine because it was my birth year. And birthstone, and then there's a trumpet in there. I don't know if you can see it or not. But
I can't see it, but
there's a little trumpet in there because I played trumpet.
I remember thinking about getting
like decked out.
Thinking about getting my college class ring because I was like, oh, everyone says you should get that, and so I thought about it. I graduated officially in 2019, so this wasn't that long ago. But of course, I like fully built it, and then I like looked at the tab when it was over, and it was like $2,800. I went,
holy shit,
no,
I'm not doing that.
I could cheapen this up, but I don't want to do it. So I just didn't do it.
Can I put that towards tuition?
What made it? What was the material you went with?
I don't remember. It was something gold.
Plastic.
White gold, probably. Like
I think it was white gold.
Ring pop.
Cherry flavor. What else would you get on a class ring?
Pacifier.
Oh my God.
I wanted it to be a cherry lifesaver. So I could just
I put a little furry tail on the other side of it.
It's kind of like a James Bond ring, but for a little bit different scenario.
Very different.
I'm not saving my life. I'm just trying to make it taste like cherry down there.
Instead of GoldenEye, it's Pink-and-I.
God. Oh.
Octopussy and cherry.
Ew, man. Well, thank you, Joe, for that little trip back through your own timeline and the trends that you follow.
You're welcome. I think I've gotten the demons back into their trove.
Just fucking, you open it up like one of those boxes from Ghostbusters.
You just hear eternal screams of the dam wafting out of it, and have to slam it back shut.
The spirits come out and your face starts melting.
Yep.
But now it's time for our villain of the week.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
This week's villain of the week is toxic workplaces. Ooh. So I had an experience with somebody today in their place of business where they kept referring to their girlfriend in conversation while people were around. And then when other people weren't there, they referred to them as their partner. And instead of saying she, they were saying they. And I was like, you don't feel comfortable talking about like that in this workplace. And you felt comfortable with me because I mentioned my husband earlier. So I hate that people have to go through that and it's very upsetting to me because I remember being that person too. So that's why this week's solo of the week is toxic workplaces, where you can't talk about your relationship openly because you're worried that people will either think differently of you or worse.
Yeah.
And with everyone having to transition back to the entire, like, back to work and no more remote and no more hybrid and back to office, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, it was a moment, and it made me, like, I felt very bad for them, and I was like, I really wish that I could do more, but I'm not in a position to do more. And give me a license to kill and a gun, and maybe I can help. Or America, we could just educate our citizens. That would also be pretty fucking helpful. But
that's too much work.
That's it right there. Why educate them when you can keep them stupid, Anthony?
When you can keep them Nazis.
Anyway, so that's this
moving on.
Yeah, before it becomes Nazis in general.
Before this becomes the therapy podcast again.
Oh no, we can't do it. Not twice in a row.
But you guys think it's game time?
Faux shizzle.
I do think it's game time. And this is a game I'm calling Pandora's Junk Box.
Ooh.
Pandora's junk?
Box.
Junk? Her junk?
Junk box.
In her trunk?
Am I mispronouncing it? Joe, is this a word that I can't say right?
Like, Jay, I'm going to murder you over and over again.
Bring the whole chloroform bottle when you do.
You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. Here's what happens if you lose. You better hurry up. Live or die. Make your choice.
I am going to name a fad or trend, and you guys have to tell me which decade that trend came from or is generally attributed to.
Ooh.
I got all of these from Google, so that's
so
where
they're
the
wrong. Okay.
From, probably. You get 3 guesses each, and the first person that I hear that gets it right gets the point.
How many are there?
There are 15 of these.
Did you say year or decade?
Decade.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just suddenly got.
I think when it comes to trends and fads, it is incredibly hard to pin down a single year they came into like vogue.
Agreed. When I thought about it, I was like, "Fuck! If it's year, it's gonna be like real complicated."
Yeah.
I don't
guess
think
earlier than you think.
I think you guys will definitely. One of you is going to win this one, and not me, because you definitely are going to get them. So at least there's that.
Cool. Let's see.
All right. So whenever you're ready, Jay, at your convenience, we're here, your leisure.
Wow. All right.
More like athleisure.
I'm ready, you fucking bitch.
I almost included athleisure in this list. It's not, though. Number 1, Farmville.
2000s. 2010.
2000s.
No,
nope. Okay,
so that's how we're going to play this?
Now that you have said that, even though you got it right the first time, you can guess one at a time and only once. And until the other person gets it wrong, you can't guess again. So you can't just spew answers out.
Rules.
Because this one's too easy if we do it that way.
That's actually a really good point. Never mind.
Yeah, and it'll make you take a second to think about it, because if it's between 2 decades in your brain and you say one and it's wrong, the other person may well be like, oh yeah, it's that other one and it's right. So you take a moment to think about this shit.
Okay, Mom.
That's right, honey. It says in the Bible that I can do whatever I want. Number 2. Bucket hats.
1990s.
90s it is, Joe. You are correct. Number 3.
I was debating the 90s or the 2000s.
Number 3, the Ice Bucket Challenge.
2010s.
2010s.
It's the 2010s, Jay. You are correct. Technically, you're both right, but Jay, I heard him first.
Jay was right first.
Or I could change my mind.
No, please.
Wow, new trend alert. Jay is bitching about being right.
You can't win with this guy. Well, which one is it, Jay? Do you hate being wrong or do you hate being right?
Neither.
Number 4. God. Number 4. Dabbing.
2010.
2000s?
2010s. You are right,
Damn it.
Joe.
I thought it was late 2000s. Oh, fuck. I was at work. God damn it.
Mm-hmm. Number 5. The mullet.
1980s.
The 80s. You are correct, Joe. What were you going to say? The 70s?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I thought it started in the 70s, but then I was like, oh no, it is the 80s.
You just think about it like, because some of
I
these
think
are
I was just
probably
thinking of the big
started.
hair from the 70s.
Oh, yeah. All right, number 6. The Walkman.
The 90s.
1980s.
Oh, wait, Walkman.
What did you say, Joe?
1980s.
80s is correct.
Yeah, it is 80s. I was thinking CD player.
I know, which is close.
Discman.
The same.
Yeah, I was like Discman.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, number 7. Parachute pants.
90s?
1980s.
It's the 80s as well, Joe.
God damn it. I don't fucking know. I'm
All
the
right,
youngest one here. This is not fair.
Shut up.
You're just mad. Nope, go ahead. Go to the next one.
Number 8. Doc Martens.
90s.
1990s.
No, 2000s. God damn it.
90s. You were right, Jay.
I was right.
And you said it first. Yes.
They were
were
big
just-
on like the grunge scene, so 90s.
We were just really out of date because I remember being in the 2000s really wanting Doc Martens.
Well, that's because
That's
you're gay.
how things work in small town Oklahoma. Those trends hit us so late that we wouldn't get them till years later.
I just talked about that at work the other day, and I sat there and went, so you have to understand that everything that was popular in the 80s, we were excited about in the 90s where I grew up.
Yep.
Because that's when we could afford it, when it was super cheap.
Yep. And it was accessible. That was the other thing is it had to be sold at like a Walmart or like a store you could find at a strip mall.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, you weren't getting it.
You weren't going to a shop, Image.
So, are we gonna go to the Town East Mall in Wichita, and are they gonna have the brand new bucket hats available for selection?
And I'm going to buy them. All of them.
I'm imagining just like you go in there and it's just like skeletons with bucket hats just like,
Oh,
posed.
sorry. Very short side story. So we have Town East, which is the nice mall, and then this is in Wichita, and then Town West, which was the shittier
I know.
mall. And Town West is so bad right now that every month their power is getting shut off.
Wow.
And the news is reporting it, and they're even like reporting it as, guess whose power is shut off this month? Like that's how their social media is going.
Wow.
Well, I mean, malls are a booming business, so.
It's just the boom down.
Boom down economics.
Boom down. All right, number 9. Furby.
1990s.
90s. You're right, Joe. Yeah, I remember them coming like drifting into the 2000s as well, and yeah.
Ooh, and they got the
so
little digital
weird.
faces for a while. Ugh.
Yeah. All right, number 10. Pokemon Go.
2010s.
2016.
2014.
June 2016.
No. It is June 2016, and we're not doing that.
Fuck.
But
That
you
was
both get a point.
2016.
You both get a
Yeah.
point for that, though, because
I remember it was huge and
even
technically
I had it.
a nightmare when it first came
Yeah.
out.
Okay, number 11. Koosh balls.
1990s.
What did you say, Joe?
1990s.
No, you're both wrong.
Oh.
1980s.
1980s is correct.
I used the J method, but slower.
As you should. As one should. All right, number 12. T-bowing.
2000s.
2010s.
2010s is right, Joe.
What
the
is
earliest,
that?
Tebow,
So this
Tim
is one
Tebow.
that I had to
Oh
verify.
my god! How did I forget about that one?
Yeah, I had to verify this one because it was so on the cusp. The earliest documented picture of him doing this was in 2011.
Tim Tebow went to the University of Florida, and he was big when Florida was really, really good when I was in college. So then right after college, that was 2011, and that was when he went pro and got really popular, and that's when Tebowing became the thing.
I completely forgot about that. Because he's super religious,
right at
too,
the beginning
right?
of the 2010s.
Ah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I found that out later, and I was like, oh,
Same.
he's less hot.
Yeah, things got a lot limper suddenly.
Yeah.
All right, number 13, sagging pants.
90s.
1990s.
2000s.
No. Yes, that is
oh.
correct, Jay.
Oh.
So that is when it became more in vogue.
Okay.
Vogue.
Okay, number 14. There's 2 of these left. Number 14, the Macarena.
90s.
1990s.
90s it is, and I think Jay said it just a bit faster.
1996.
Definitely because I remember at the
we're not doing that. I
1990
already said we're not doing that.
at the 1996, I think,
1993.
Democratic Convention, there was they were literally doing it.
Yes, they were.
There's videos of all these like old Democrats.
It is excruciating to watch.
Oh, it's so 90s core though. You should look it up.
Oh God.
Okay, we got one last one. And the score is Joe 9 and Jay 6. So if you can get this one right 4 times, you'll win.
Deal.
All right, number 15. Tamagotchi.
90s.
What did you say, Joe?
1990s.
No.
1980s.
2000.
It's 2000.
I said it 5 times.
Is it? Oh yeah.
It is. It was
That
the
makes
2000s.
sense.
Yep. And that means that, Jay, you got 1 point.
What? I said it 5 times.
Look, I based
That's
those
weird,
off of
'cause
what Google said.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yep.
Well, he did say it 5 times.
Yeah, but you still only got 1 point for it.
If you say 90s 3 times into your webcam, it takes you back to a
That's
dial-up
how I got
modem.
you. Here's behind me and stops feeding me.
Someone throws one through your window. No, God.
Take back your fucking horse.
At the end of the game, the score is Jay 7 and Joe 9, making Joe this week's winner of Pandora's Junk Box.
Hey!
Could have had 11,
Clap,
but
clap,
that's
clap,
fine.
clap. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to take off the times that you were wrong.
Oh, so 12. No, I'm kidding.
Shut up. But I do think that I hear the music coming back
About
on. It's
time.
fine. Shut the fuck up. Oh God, it's the electric slide. But go call our hotline real quick and leave a voicemail. That number is 405-999-2242.
And Beardos, Jay is ready to take off his top for the gallon milk challenge. So we've got to go.
No, I'm not the only white creamy thing on Joe's chest.
Sherwin-Williams, something.
Outro.
If you'd like to help us out, go and subscribe to our podcast so you can get reminders every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on all of our social media sites for any additional sundries that we add to the market.
And don't forget to rate us 5 stars and leave a review. Those reviews are what get us found by more listeners like you. Also, if just each one of you could tell a friend about the podcast, that would double our growth, and that would be pretty cool.
Pretty cool. If you write those reviews. Oh,
I was just going to say, it'll be radical.
It'll be tubular, man. if you write those reviews, I might read it on the show. You can also write into our email at beardsandsundries@gmail.com, and I'll read it on the show. What? And sometimes I read what you put on our socials, so check us out at Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok. Yeah. And check out our website, beardsandsundries.com, and go buy some merch.
So, from the three of us hashtags here at the Beards and Sundries Market, make sure to
love yourself so my mood necklace will turn pink.
Because we already love you. See you later, hashtags.
There's so much in Jay's pink.
Later, Gator.
Bye.
Bye.